So we've been exploring this wargaming thing. What about having a GM, a game master for your war game, for your next war game, making it a 3-player thing with 1 player running the story? This builds on this idea. I was following up on some BattleTech ideas where BattleTech is a role-playing game. There's a whole universe, a whole narrative, a whole system, just RPG. Then you've got BattleTech, do I say the war game, the board game, the miniature game, all 3, where it's miniature combat. And how easy those 2, if you would like, can kind of cross over and play together. We've also seen in certain historical war games where I'll use the term more towards a referee, where someone will run the event, a historical battle we're recreating. They'll set up the time and the place as represented on the board and brief both generals with what's known, and then the generals will go head to head. So the idea of someone helping to facilitate a game, it's not necessarily new to wargaming. The question is, how can we use this to create this narrative? Because I say that one of the things I want to do as a wargamer is step out of space and time, literally create something on the table, something unique, something in that narrative, whether it's Grimdark 40K, BattleTech, Chain of Command, God Tier, whatever it's going to be, X-Wing miniatures, whatever that system is going to be, Pacific Rim Extinction. And I want to immerse myself, and I want to immerse you, my friends, into that. And likewise, my miniature collection, your miniature collection, terrain, we want to get the most out of it. We want to utilize those aspects, those things. So in exploring that, this idea of a GM, a game master, is another way to do this. I've done this with Warhammer 40,000 a lot because it's a lot of fun for wargaming systems that are mainly designed to go head to head. You've got your miniatures, I've got my miniatures, you're on your side of the table, I'm on my side of the table. It's got a rule set, you roll for some missions, you figure things out, here you go. That's somewhat predictable, and it is a lot of fun. But if you can take it to that next level and inject a story element, that's a lot of fun. Now, I like to approach this story element, if there's going to be GM, the GM is also a player. I like the GM to have kind of a little bit of play, a little bit of action in the story, but not so much that it's going to kind of favor one side or the other, or not where, okay, it's a player 1, player 2 GM, and the GM wins the game. The GM should never win the game. The GM there is to facilitate in the moment, creating surprise, creating tension, creating points of interest for the players, the participants in the game. There should definitely be a participant. So I want to share with you a game that I recently ran and pull in some of those elements. It's going to be utilizing the Warhammer 40,000 rule set. This is kind of a sci-fi miniature-based game. If you're familiar with it, this will fit right in, but I'm also going to kind of fill in the narrative a little bit. If you're not familiar with 40K Games Workshop Grimdark, we've got 2 sides. One side, Space Marines. It's a Space Marine chapter. One player was playing Space Marines. These are like sci-fi, superhuman soldiers. On the opposite side, it was also Space Marines. What I said to the players, I said, hey, I'm going to run like a narrative type game. What army do you want to play? Okay, so the one player was like, I want to play Space Marines. The other side was like, I want to play Dark Angel Space Marines. So I'm like, okay, Space Marines versus Space Marines, good guys versus good guys. Are Dark Angels good guys or not? Well, that's a discussion for another time. So I wanted to build on that. So the mission was, on this planet, on this battlefield, was a hidden artifact, an ancient artifact of immense, immense power. The Imperium wanted to claim this artifact. The Space Marines were going in to claim this artifact, the Space Marine chapter. The Dark Angels were also going in to claim this artifact. So the Dark Angels have kind of an interesting backstory where before the Imperium, during the Horus Heresy, part of the Dark Angels went to the side of chaos. They're fallen. And they got scattered through space and time. So in order to redeem themselves, in order to keep their treachery secret, the current Dark Angel players are like, Fritz, you're getting it all wrong. Guys, Luther was exactly correct. That is all I will say on that. But to kind of keep that narrative, the present Dark Angels are hunting down the fallen. So anytime there is information about the fallen Dark Angels or one of these Dark Angels, their armor, heresy used to be black, appears, they got to make sure nobody else knows about it. Even their fellow loyalist Space Marine chapters, nobody can know about it. So these the Dark Angel player, he's going in to get this artifact because it's about the fallen. You know, if another Space Marine chapter also appears to claim it, well, it's going to be a little bit of friendly fire and kind of see what happens, and nothing we can really do about that. So we've got two going head-to-head. Now, throwing into the mix, Chaos Space Marines. These are Space Marines that have renounced their vows, or some would say have seen the liberating theology of Horus and know the true powers of the galaxy. They've renounced the Imperium, and they're on this planet, hidden, with some Chaos cultists. These are kind of renegade guardsmen, Imperial Army, that type of stuff, that are also renouncing their Imperial vows. They're on the planet looking for stuff, looking for this artifact. So tactically, the way the game works out is we had about 6 or 7 pieces of terrain. At the start of the game, I'm going to randomize where this artifact is located. Both sides are fighting each other. They're going in to try and explore this terrain, and when they enter the terrain, there'll be a search check, and if it's there, the artifact will be located. They can then, a unit can pick it up and begin to move around. They don't know where it's going to be. I don't know where it's going to be. I've also randomized a squad of Chaos Space Marines and 2 squads of cultists. Got to be Khorne. You know, I'm right. Chaos Space Marines, Berserkers, Khornate cultists. I've randomized those 2 cultist groups and the Chaos Space Marine group. They're hiding there because they know the Dark Angels are coming. They know the other Space Marines are coming. So from that perspective, it's like they're going to be hiding. These units are in my control. I randomize ahead of time where they're going to appear. And when the players enter that terrain piece, they then become active and I control them. I'm controlling them not to try and beat up on any of the other specific factions or players. They're trying to get the artifact itself. So if that artifact appears, they're going to attack the unit that has it. They're going to try and grab it and make it off the table. Now, the chances of success are very, very small, but the players need to also work for or against or with that. So this idea of being able to GM a game, and add something to the game as the person running the narrative game, again, not to beat the players, but to say, based on the models we have, based on the narrative, can we come up with something fun? And in addition to going head to head, can I add in some twists? Can I add in some ideas and some changes that would be fun or interesting for them to play, looking to take the game beyond just, and there's nothing wrong with this, a lot of war games are this, just you set your toys up, I set my toys up, we roll some dice. Nothing beats a little bit of space spice, like having a GM interject things, control things in that moment, create things. So how can we get the most out of the rules, out of the narrative, and out of our miniatures?